Hey, what's up, everybody? For your fix of fitness, health, life, and laughs, you know where it's at. That's right, it's at the Poecast with your host, yours truly, Adam Pullman.
Welcome to the Poecast. This is the show where all of your health, fitness, and nutrition questions are answered. Today, we're going to be talking more about tracking calories, calorie deficit, stuff like that, and specifically whether or not we should worry about macronutrients. So is it calories that are more important or macronutrients? We're going to be talking about that today, so make sure you tune in for the answer to that question in today's episode. If you are like this listener and you have a question that you would like me to answer here on the show, you can send those questions in on Instagram. My handle is Adam_PullmanFit. That's where you can find me there. By the way, I share some great memes. And you can go to my story on Sunday and you can go to the story that says, ask me a question. There's a little question box there. Submit as many questions as you would like. I will answer them shortly. Geez, what am I trying to say? I will answer them briefly there on the story, and then I'll do it more in depth with more detail here on the show for you. So if you have a question that you would like to have answered, go ahead and send it in there on Sundays. And if you're someone that enjoys these episodes, you're someone that enjoys what I do, you would like to show some support, and you're also someone that wants to build a faster metabolism, we have the Eat More, Get Leaner ebook for you. This is a detailed step-by-step guide on how to build a faster metabolism for easier fat loss now and in the long term. You can get that at the Pullman Fitness store. That's at POEHLMANN fitness.com/store. So that's where you can go ahead and get that Eat More, Get Leaner ebook. And if you're someone that wants to explore more about health and fitness, walk alongside like-minded people, hear some awesome stories from people that have worked with me through coaching at Pullman Fitness, you are more than welcome, and we would love to have you in our private Facebook group. So if that's something that interests you and you want to be a part of that community with us, just shoot me a message or an email, a message on Instagram, just saying, that's me. That way I know you're someone that's interested in our private group, and I will go ahead and send you the link to that group. And then lastly, if you would like more information on fitness, fat loss, whatever it might be, we have tons of free resources available for you at the website, articles and guides on building muscle, building a better butt, building better arms, losing body fat, increasing performance, all of that good stuff. That's going to be at pullmanfitness.com/free. That's POEHLMANN fitness.com/free. Today's question is from Chandalin, and the question is, if I want to be in a calorie deficit, do I need to worry about macros or just calories? So this is a good question, and I wanted to address it today just because last episode we talked about calorie deficits, so I thought it would be kind of a good transition here. So I want to answer this question in a couple of different lenses, okay, or in a couple of different scenarios. So the first one is in the manner which she asked the original question. If I want to be in a calorie deficit, if I want to lose body fat, what is going to be the most important, calories or macros? When you're trying to lose body fat and weight, it comes down to energy balance, okay? More calories going out than in, you're going to lose weight. More calories coming in than out, you're going to gain weight, all right? It's just the law of thermodynamics. That's just how it works. There's no way we can get around that, okay? So we have to take into consideration energy balance, right? Having said that, if you're someone that wants to prioritize a calorie deficit, eating fewer calories than you are burning in the day in order to support body fat loss, calories are going to be most important, okay? Because if you're focused on macros and getting enough protein in, getting adequate amounts of healthy fats in, but you're over consuming on a consistent basis, you're not going to be losing any body fat or losing any weight, okay? So calories will be most important in that situation. However, macronutrients are extremely important. And when it comes to tracking food in general, this is the second lens through which I wanted to answer this question. When it comes to tracking food in general, I don't think it should be either or. I don't think it should be, macros or calories, or micros or macros, or macros and micros or calories. I think it should be both and, not either or. Because here's the reality. though macronutrients, or I'm sorry, though calories play the biggest determining factor in energy balance, weight gain, and weight loss, the fact of the matter is that macronutrients contain calories. So when we track macronutrients, we are also tracking calories. Fats have about roughly 9 calories per gram. Carbohydrates and protein, roughly 4 calories per gram. Okay, so these macronutrients contain calories. And in my opinion, since macronutrients play different roles in the body, I think it's pretty important to take a look at macronutrient intake. Now, I want to also mention this as it comes to mind. I don't want you to feel at all like if you're trying to reach any sort of fitness goal that you have to track your food intake, that you have to track macros, you have to track calories. That's not the case whatsoever. I like to tell people it's like a budget. You don't have to track your expenses to save money whatsoever. But if you track those things, you're going to have a further idea, or a more detailed idea, a bird's eye view of everything going on, so you can pinpoint areas that you need to address and adjust and add to in order to improve your money saving ability. You can say, oh wow, I didn't realize we were spending that much money at Starbucks or whatever it might be. I could easily get away with going there only twice a week instead of 5 times a week. Boom, saving money. But you might not realize it if you're just kind of blind to the fact and you're just taking stabs in the dark. So you don't have to budget to save money, but it can certainly help. Same thing with tracking your food intake. You don't have to do it to lose body fat or reach any sort of goal, but it's an extremely valuable tool that helps you see everything that's actually going on so you know what you can adjust and change and add to. So anyway, those macronutrients contain calories, and that's why it's important, as those macronutrients play different roles in the body. For example, protein is best known for preserving and building tissue. Okay, especially muscle tissue. So it's going to be important to know how many grams of protein you're consuming, especially if you're trying to lose body fat. Because as you're eating in a calorie deficit and you're lifting weights, which you definitely should be, it's important that you get protein in so that way you're not at risk for losing lean muscle tissue. You don't want that to happen whatsoever, so it's important that you get enough protein in. If you're only looking at calories, you might miss that. You might not be getting that much protein in, because let me tell you this, 99% of the people that I have coached when they first come to me, strictly speaking for their goals, are not eating enough protein. They're eating enough to be healthy and live and get by and not have any issues whatsoever. But in terms of their goals, they're definitely not eating enough. Protein is one of the most underconsumed nutrients out there, I would say, in addition to fiber, okay? Definitely one of the most underconsumed. So I think it's important to look at that stuff. If we look at fats and their role on cognitive health, mental health, as well as hormone function, I would argue that it's important to make sure you're getting plenty of healthy fats in. Now proteins and fats are essential, meaning we need them to live, but carbohydrates are not. We don't need them to live, but they're extremely important when it comes to energy, especially performance in the gym and recovery from your performance in the gym. They can help a ton along your health and fitness journey. So I would say it's important to track carbohydrates as well, especially when, a lot of the carbs that we get are from highly processed foods. We might not really see that at first. We might not see, wow, I'm getting 200 grams of carbs from highly processed crap. When in reality, I can get them from oats or rice or potatoes or whatever. So those are important as well. They each play different roles in the body. They each have a different responsibility. However, they all contain calories. So the reality is this: when you track your macronutrients, you're also going to be tracking calories inevitably, because macronutrients don't come without calories. It's just the way it is. They have calories. All right. But I think tracking the macros will also help you realize how important each one is, how your body feels when you have more or less of something. Like, for example, I generally feel a lot better when I have a really high fat diet. Okay. Like I'm easily over 100 and maybe sometimes 120 grams of fat a day. And for me, I feel much, much better when I do that. Some people don't, so it's important to track some things and kind of do a process of elimination and figure out, where do I thrive? Like how many, if I have 100 grams of carbs before my workout, I feel way better. Or maybe if I have 100 grams of carbs before my workout instead of 50, I feel super lethargic. It's important to figure that stuff out for yourself, because exercise is important for your calorie deficit. Your mental health is important while you're eating fewer calories than you're burning in the day. All of that stuff plays a role into your overall mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health. So you have to take that into consideration, in my opinion. But remember this: you do not have to track anything. You don't have to. You don't absolutely have to in order to reach your goals. Tracking your food is simply a tool to help you understand further what you're already doing so you can find ways to address things that need to be addressed. All right. I hope this helps answer your question in some way. And if you know someone that's trying to figure out like, hey, what's more important, calories or macros, share this episode with them. Let them know that they can come here to get all of their health, fitness, and nutrition questions answered. And if you're like, hey man, I don't know anybody that wants to listen to this episode, but you enjoy the show, spread the love, share it with your friends and family, especially as the new year is here. Let them know that this is a resource that they can use to improve their health and fitness.
Oh my goodness, I cannot believe it is over already. Hey, thank you guys so much for listening to the Poecast. Hey, listen in. If you have a health and fitness goal that you are trying to reach, I don't know what else to say other than to say it must be a match made in heaven. If you didn't know already, Pullman Fitness exists to transform the body, mind, and spirit through personal coaching and sustainable fitness plans for any stage of life. So, if you want to reach your goals, build sustainability, and enjoy life all at the same time, you guys got to check out Premier Coaching at Pullman Fitness. From custom-tailored programming to 24/7 access to your personal coach, you'll have everything that you need to succeed. You guys can find out a lot more about Premier Coaching as well as our membership program at pullmanfitness.com. Hey, if you enjoyed the show, share the love by leaving a 5-star review and introducing the Poecast to your friends and family. As always, thank you so much for listening, and until next time, this is the Poecast.